Ask Tom on Home Show.
Cedric from Sienna Plantation, Texas, has a crack problem.
Well, yes, he does, Tom. It's in his 12-year-old house over in Sienna, and it has this crack. Now, if you look carefully in these pictures, I wish they were a little bigger so you could see it, but there's a crack on the floor, and there's a crack on the ceiling. And Cedric writes to us, it's in my tile floor, runs across my dining room and into my laundry room, and on the other side of the wall, adjacent to the dining room, there's a crack in the ceiling 2 feet away. No cracks in the walls. Do you think this could be a foundation problem? I've had 2 foundation guys come out and wanted to put piers in, but there are no cracks on the walls of the house. And I guess Cedric smells a rat. What say you, Tom?
I don't think it's a foundation problem. And I think, and Charlie, we've gone through this with a lot of your friends and people I know. Call Due West Foundation Repair and get that third opinion. These guys will tell you. I have a feeling there's a little bit of a framing issue on that crack on the ceiling, and it's just a place where it moves. I've got a place in my house. There's always a little crack, and I caulk it when we do the paint job, and we paint it, and for years the caulking sits in there and you don't see it. It's just a little place where the framing moves, and that's all that ceiling is. When you have cracks with foundation problems, or if you have a foundation problem, you get cracks in the wall, which you will. It's usually right above the doors on the corners, and it'll go up at a diagonal. And it'll get wider and then tighter at the bottom and wider at the top. You'll see that above doors and windows. That's a real sign the foundation's moving. Tile floor is not a sign the foundation moves unless you have cracks everywhere else in the house and the foundation is so bad it's probably living in a tear down, which you are not. And so I don't think you have a foundation issue. And you can have the foundation have piers under there and someone could fix those cracks, but you know what? Quite frankly, I think you could relay the tile and fix the cracks and you won't have to have the piers. And I think you'll hear that from Due West, but I don't see any foundation issues with what you're saying or what you're showing at this point, no.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Tom. I mean, as many times as I've talked to the Dutton family, they say about half the time they go out, there's not a foundation problem. And a lot of times, even when there is a minor one, you can fix it with a watering system.
Yeah, or just a root barrier. And what really gets me, though, is people will get mad at them, saying, well, all the other companies said there was. And so how dare you tell me there's not? I just want everybody to think about that a minute. And they're just being truthful, and the other companies might not be truthful because they're there to sell a job. And Due West they got enough jobs. They got what they need to have a good company. And that's why they've been in business since who knows how long, a million years ago. But the fact of the matter is some people do get upset when they're told they don't have a problem, and I never understood that.
I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy either.
You got a question? Maybe you're that guy. Go and click on Ask Tom. Send us your question. We'll straighten you out. Seriously, if you have any question, if you've got an estimate you're not sure, go fill that form out. Send us pictures, just like we got there from Cedric, and we'll help you out too. Save you some money like we did with Cedric, because that's part of why we do this. To help you save money, make sense of home improvements, make sure you're not getting taken for a ride. Nothing angers us more than when we hear somebody got rooked when we could have helped them out. And so that's why we put a new one of these up every day at our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and of course, HomeShowRadio.com.